Welcome to In Full Effect. I'm your host, Jason O. Today, our topic, African American women, and as you can see, I'm surrounded by 5 lovely Sam Houston State African American women. We'll be right back with this brief message, but following rap news with our man AC. So, Deidre's mama's so short, she sits in many, I'm sure. This is his second solo album since leaving the group NW. Welcome back to In Full Effect. As you can see, I'm here surrounded by these 5 lovely black women, and I will let them introduce themselves right now.
Hello, my name is Chandra Moulton. I'm a freshman here at Sam Houston State. My major is pre-med, and I'm from Dallas, Texas.
Hello, my name is Andrea Odom. I'm a freshman psychology major, and I'm from Houston, Texas.
Hi, my name is Deidre Holloway. I'm an education major, and I'm from Missouri City.
Hi, my name is Regina Benoit. I'm a senior business management major, computer science minor, and I'm from Houston, Texas.
Hello, my name is Stephanie Putney, and I'm a psychology major.
Okay, Ms. Putney. We're going to go to this video. This video consists of some brothers and their opinions of the black woman in 1991.
I have a tendency of being too loud in different areas, public and things like that. But as always, it's individual. Some more, some not. So I'm not talking about every one of them, but for sure of a lot of them.
What I think about the black woman? Well, as you know, I always think the black woman should be respected, again, as she was before. We must remember that everything stems from the black woman. And to be black men again, because we're not black men, we must become respecters of our black women. I think that we can't disrespect her anymore. We can't collect her anymore. We can't try to sleep around with as many as we can. This is a queen. We're dealing with queens. We have to treat them as queens. And if we ever want to be kings again, we say we're kings, we wear the T-shirts, we have to respect our women. We can't run around and call her hoes. I know you know the other word we call her. We can't try to sleep with as many. We can't leave the babies. You know, the black woman is raising black men every day by herself. And a woman cannot raise a man, ideally. She can only raise and guide a man, but she cannot make a man. Only a man can. So we have to go back to our women, accept our responsibilities, start raising up men, because with the black woman, you teach a nation. But with the black man, you teach an individual. So again, like I say, we have to start to revere her, treat her as the queen that she is. We have to protect her. We have to be willing to kill for her, just like you're willing to kill for your mother, because that black woman that you're disrespecting today is going to be someone's mother. It might be the mother of your children. So, brothers, we have to learn how to respect her again. And that's detrimental to the growth of the nation, of the black race.
Personally, how I feel about the black woman, I love the black woman. I don't think I personally, myself, I wouldn't be with any other woman other than the black woman. Read my lips, other than the black woman. Now, personally, how I feel about the black woman, she is our future. She deserves to be protected as something very, very valuable, because she is. She is the foundation to the black family. And as of now, today, she's the main supporter of the black family. Not overlooking the part of the male, but she has more or less been allowed to coexist peacefully with the man. When, of course, we can understand exactly what's going on with the male, the black male image in America, calling us the so-called bald eagle or what have you. But more or less, she should be protected as something extremely valuable, because she is something extremely valuable. And therefore, for those who find pleasure in trying to more or less harm our sisters, our mothers, our black woman, deserve punishment at the hands of the black man. Black man must understand himself to understand the black woman. And as they both understand each other, then only can they understand the black family.
I once heard it said that the strength of a nation is judged by the character of its women, which is evidenced through women such as Marion Tubman and Harriet Tubman, and Mary McLeod Bethune and people like that. I feel like the black woman today has strayed away from some of the foundations that my grandmother and my mother were brought up on. Not all the foundations, but some of the black women today seem to be too wrapped up in meism and what can you do for me, or what can other people do for me, whereas people like my grandmother, they were brought up believing that each person was to give 110% of themselves to make a relationship work. And it wasn't what can you do for me, but what can we do for we. And I feel like that's the biggest problem that black women and people as black people as a nation have today. We don't have a common unity.
For example, the brother saying that women of today are too loud, black women of today are just too loud. Any of y'all want to expound on that?
Well, I really think that a lot of times people will think that women are too loud for the main reason because the role of the black woman is changing as well as the average woman in America today. And I think this kind of not only makes people a little nervous, but it also causes them to think that we are loud and boisterous when actually we're only expressing ourselves.
Well, what do y'all think about the brother who said that black women have the ideology of me, me, me?
Well, I don't think it's so much as me, me, me. We want things just as young men want things, or older men, or whatever age difference. Just like a man expects for a woman to cook, clean, and do things for him, we expect for the man to do things for the woman also. And I don't think it's nothing wrong with me, me, me. Well, not actually me, 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 but wanting nice things, or a woman wanting a man to take care of her.
Well, let me ask you this. What do y'all, as a black woman, what do you think most black women want from the black man in 1991?
I think the only thing that most black women want in 1991 is to be respected and to be treated like a lady. And I believe that's another reason why black men often, they use a cop-out and say the black women are boisterous and they want everything because they don't want to face black women because black women are a challenge. And black women these days don't sit back and just take anything. You know, they expect more from a man, respect, and not so much money, but just, you know, basic care.
Well, a lot of brothers accuse women of nowadays wanting men for their financial gains instead of their personality per se. How do you address that?
Could you repeat the question, please?
A lot of women say that women are only out for the money. What do you think about that? Because a lot of women are.
I don't think that's true. If you look today, women are making just as much as more as men.
Well, why do you think this is so? I mean, what do you think is the major difference between women of the 20th century, like 1991, as compared to 1950 and 1960?
I want to make a comment on what you said before about the money situation. I think that came about after the man or male or whatever did the woman wrong. I don't think it was a money thing before that because it's like a revenge thing.
So you're saying that that's really something that's blown out of proportion, a fallacy, a minority. It's a minority, like women who want men for their money, that's in the minority.
No, it's in the majority because men treat women like dogs.
I like to comment on that about the money situation. I don't think it's so much as if a woman has a man who doesn't have a lot of things or doesn't have the money to offer, I don't think she would expect as much as a man who does have the money and does have the things to offer that she likes or that she wants.
Okay. Well, I can kind of agree with that because I noticed in 1991, black women or just women in general, more apt to work with a man. As far as, like, I use an example, like a woman will take a Volkswagen Bug and fix it up and make it into a Ferrari, whereas men, you know, we want our Ferrari, you know, as is. But then my next question is, what do y'all think the major difference of the black woman in 1991 is compared to the woman of the 50s and 60s?
Regina?
Well, I think that you'll find that the major difference is that the black woman is not afraid to take a stand now. When you bring up the time period of the 50s and the 60s, that's a time period when women were not only looked down upon but discriminated against for their race as well as being a woman. And now they say we're the double minority. But when you're looking into the future, you're looking at women being in the majority, especially black women. You find within black women that they're not afraid to accept a challenge and they're not afraid to try to do a little bit better or give the extra edge that it takes in order to make a difference. And I think this is the big difference that you see between women of the 50s and the 60s and women of today, because we're not afraid to make a difference.
Well, this leads into my next question. How do y'all feel about the changing roles of women in 1990s? For example, you have it's not uncommon anymore to see a woman who's the breadwinner in a family and a woman who's the head of a company. And for example, like you have Madonna, and you know the thing she does. A couple years ago, this was like taboo for a woman to even dance on stage. And not only does she dance, but she dances provocatively. I mean, she's not a black woman, but you know, women as a whole, you know, are having a lot of changing roles. And what do y'all think about the changing roles of the black woman?
I think it's a good change because back in the 50s and 60s, women were expected to just sit back and be passive and not speak until spoken to, and they were expected to do domestic jobs like house cleaning, cooking, and washing, and it wasn't expected for women to be a doctor or a lawyer or the president of a major company. And I think that now that women are beginning to move up in the world and take on more demanding positions in the workforce, men are kind of intimidated by that because women are kind of gaining on them. Because before, you know, they weren't faced with that problem. It was just men. Men were running everything, basically, and the women were in the house.
Can I comment on that? Also, I think women have to take on more possessive roles or a higher status, because back in the 50s and 60s, you could kind of depend on a man to bring the bread home, or you could kind of depend on the bills being paid. And these days, it's kind of hard to depend on a man because you can't expect, you know, it's something that you can't look forward to. You can't say, oh, well, I know these bills are going to be paid, so you have to go out and you have to make a life for yourself. You have to depend on yourself. Women are becoming more independent.
Anyone else want to expound on that? Well, let me move and switch gears a little bit here. I want to move into I guess you can say a somewhat controversy, somewhat, you know, rivalry between the shades. You know, you have lighter shades and darker shades, and a lot of times people say things, you know, like there's a lot of slang. You have chocolate, you have yellow bone and stuff like this, and then you have names for people. Like I've been called color struck many a times. And just how do y'all as sisters, you know, because I have 5 here and all 5 of y'all are different shades. How do y'all address the fact of the different color shades and how y'all are perceived differently on the basis of your color shades by many different people?
Well, briefly commenting on that, I don't think that it's the shade. I think it's the character. And I think it goes with people, a lot of men are trying to get as close to white as possible, so they want the lighter women with the lighter women with the longer hair, you know, nice grade of hair, closest thing to white. That's really what they're trying to achieve. So I think that it's really not your outer appearance, it's really your inward appearance. And I think all black women are beautiful, whether they're light or dark or, you know, it doesn't matter. I don't think it should matter, actually.
Expounding on what Andrea was saying, I think that it has been instilled with us since the days of slavery, when some women who were lighter, they could even pass for being white, and they would even maybe get more privileges than a darker skinned woman. But in the 90s, you see more of a consciousness, and black women are beginning to realize that, hey, brown is beautiful, or dark brown is beautiful, and not just lighter skin, because really you have people are identifying more with their self for who they are and not trying to be someone else.
Okay, well, Tim, what do y'all think about the Spike Lee movie School Days and how the rivalry that they had there? Do y'all think that's non-existent, or are y'all saying that, you know, it's just a fallacy?
Well, I think it exists. A lot of the things that you've brought up, Jason, well, all of them exist. But what we found is that the smaller things people will end up to make them seem stereotypical, and they will think that everyone is like that. Mm-hmm. I think that it existed maybe more in earlier times, but it's not as much today. And I really think that it's not as big of a problem as people have made it to be.
I'd like to ask each one of y'all to tell me, if you were to send out a message to your other black sisters across the nation, across the campus, what would it be?
Well, personally, I would send out the message to the black woman to just not be afraid to make a change or make a difference, and stand up for the things you believe in, because we'll find that if we stand up for the things we believe in, then we'll be standing up for ourselves, and that instills a sense of pride within us, and it also lets you know that you can accomplish things and you can do things, and that causes you to take on more challenges.
I just like to tell black sisters in the world or whatever to be strong and don't give up. Just be confident and you must love yourself first, and others will love you also.
I'd like to tell all my black sisters across the world, across the campus, not to give up on our black men because they're trying. I know it's sometimes hard, but if you wait, and I think if you put forth your best, then someone else will put forth their best, and y'all will be kind of matched together. Just don't give up and don't lose hope, and you'll find that right person one day.
I would just like to say, just be yourself, and you'll feel comfortable about yourself, and you'll feel good about yourself. And there are some good men out there.
Well, now that we're on that, since y'all brought it up, I wasn't going to say nothing, but since y'all brought it up, what do y'all think about the black man? What's wrong with the brother,
Well, just briefly, I'd like to say that we do have good black men. I have a good black man, and I'd just like to say that there are some good black men. Just give him a chance.
Define good.
Good? I mean, a man with a nice personality, one who understands you, who really doesn't want a lot, who feels good about himself, doesn't try to be anyone else, and basically good. That's all I can say.
I think the problem with the black man is that they try to have more than one woman, and it makes them look macho or something.
Okay, I'm going to have to go ahead and defend the brothers now. Well, a lot of times, the brothers, we actually, as men, I know a lot of men who do this, we have our queen, our girlfriend, whatever you want to call it, and we set her on a pedestal, and we treat her like a queen most of the time, but also for some reason, we always have outside interests. We also have outside interests, but we still treat our woman like a queen, and most brothers feel like, what she don't know won't hurt her. But see, what happens is a lot of times the woman we really care about finds out about the other stuff. I mean, I'm not saying that I do this, but I'm saying a lot of people do this. The woman that we're supposed to care about, she finds out about all the other stuff, and then she's hurt. And this isn't intended. It's sometimes, it's referred to as a man thing. You have to be a man to understand. But, men are raised up to believe that, you can have a woman, you can love one woman, but men are brought up and raised to believe that the more women you conquer on earth, that's your ultimate goal. I'm not saying that's right, but there's a lot of things about, the world that's not right. But I'm saying women should be patient, and if you have a boyfriend, have a boyfriend and he messes over you, maybe you should give him another chance, because he really cares about you deep down inside.
No. Okay. With your philosophy, if you're going to have all your little outside things, do your outside things know that you have a girlfriend?
Oh, hold up. We're not talking about me. I'm just saying.
You're right. I'm not talking about you. I mean men in general. I'm just.
Well,
if they know.
Well, a lot of women understand. I'll say a lot of women understand their role as far as, I don't mean to say your role, but a lot of women know that a brother has a girlfriend, but they'll go ahead and say anyway. And so when you have stuff like this going on, a lot of men think that that's natural, because there's so many men I know with girlfriends dating women. A lot of people think that, that's natural.
Okay, you said you think it's natural, but that's...
No, I'm saying a lot of people think it's natural.
That lies, I believe the fault lies within the woman if she knows that the man has a girlfriend, but then if this guy is treating her with love and respect and taking her out and, showing her a good time, and she doesn't know that he has a girlfriend, then, that's his fault. He's the one that's being deceptive.
Okay. Well, we've opened another topic. Maybe we have to have a part 2, maybe. A seminar, something, but we're going to get to the bottom of this. And it's Jason O from In Full Effect, our guest. I'll see you next week, but right now we'll be right back after these messages. And following this brief message, we'll have a video by Ted Irving. Adios.
Anyway, I can't believe you had the nerve to come in with that at the end, Jason. That was so we don't have so many stories. I cannot believe you. You have some nerve.
I'm sitting here laughing every time I get the mic.
What you have on nerves?